This is the Ang Lee Hulk movie.
Yes. Yes, which technically predates the
Incredible Hulk.
The Incredible Hulk, many people would argue, is the first film of the MCU. This predates it.
So why am I picking this as the movie, the non-MCU movie in my badge?
It isn't a non-MCU film, so I mean,
Oddly enough, though, if you watch Incredible Hulk, you could almost see how the Incredible Hulk we got with Ed Norton probably started out its genesis as a sequel to this movie, because the movie ends with him running around in South America on the run, and then the sequel picks up with him in, what is it? Was he in Brazil? Portugal?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, Brazil, yeah.
Or was it Rio? Well, Rio's in Brazil, so yeah.
We have Eric Bana as Dr. Bruce Banner, right?
Bruce Banner, yeah.
Yes. And we have Jennifer Connelly as his love interest. I forget her name, but she was played by Liv Tyler in the Incredible Hulk. But great cast, I thought. Oh no, what's his name? I meant to bring up the cast.
Talbot. General
Thunder
Ross.
Who's the actor? Hold on.
Sam
Hulk. No, not Sam Raimi. That's not Sam Raimi. Not even close.
Funny. That would have been.
Oh no, I've seen Sam Raimi show up in movies, and he's not a bad actor. I'm not picking.
No.
But it's Eric Bana. Who the heck? Jennifer Connelly. Sam Elliott. I always forget his
Sam Elliott. Thank you.
Sam Elliott. That's a Thunderbolt Ross right there. Come on.
Sam Elliott, who I used to like. Yeah.
But look at him. He looks the part. I mean.
Yeah, he was perfect. He was spot on.
People have hated on this movie, and maybe me not being a hardcore Hulk fan, just as someone who went to the movies and was getting into these. I rather liked it, but I know other people hated it.
I did too, but it did have its problems.
Yeah,
it did have its problems.
McNulty as David Banner, his dad. I liked how it was David Banner on the old Hulk show, so they still use the name David Banner. They just had it be his father.
And this isn't from nowhere. They had done this in the comics too. This whole storyline of his father being abusive, and this being why he's got the
anger issues,
multiple personality, anger issues and stuff.
Kind of like Harvey Dent suppressing the bad side of him. Yeah. Except this, it actually manifests as a monster.
But this whole storyline was a little bit more recent in the comics, and not really the most popular interpretation of the Hulk. So they were already on kind of shaky ground with the fans in that regard. But at least you can look at it and say, well, they got all the broad points, and yes, they were drawing from the comics, and they were trying to be accurate and stuff. And there was actually a lot of threads left at the end of this movie that never got followed up on, that the fans were like, damn it, we could have had the Master, and we could have had, blah, 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 and this and that, and they blew it.
They always do that. What I found interesting, though, there were some great scenes with him fighting the military in this. Like the whole going up against tanks
and stuff. It was very it to me, and this was one of the things I loved about this film. It took me back to that 1966 cartoon. Every cartoon started out with Doc Bruce Banner, belted by gamma rays, turns into and they're showing him, smashing tanks and, throwing them into soldiers and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, this is the Hulk I know,
This was back, I feel, before Marvel got too big for its britches, where the actors were proud to be part of these, but they were having fun. Like, they were interviewing Jennifer Connelly, and they said, "Oh, you're in love with a brilliant scientist with a kind of a dark side in this. Isn't this a beautiful mind all over again?" And she's in the interview and she thinks about it and says, "Oh my, you're correct." It's like, I didn't realize I'm playing the same character in both movies. But a lot of fun. What I thought was interesting, Ang Lee would do split screens like comic panels in this movie.
Yes, he did. I like that too.
Which was neat. A great visual style, which I thought Marvel could have maybe stuck in future movies. It was actually, I thought it was rather brilliant brilliantly done
Yep.
in this, and they didn't. But I know this gets picked on, and I'm not saying it's a perfect movie, but for the time, it was our Hulk, and I thought Eric Bana was great as
He was
Bruce
fine.
Banner.
He was absolutely serviceable.
And if they
Absolutely.
weren't going to bring Norton back after the
Yeah.
Incredible Hulk, why did they go with Ruffalo? They could have gotten Eric Bana back. I don't. I just. I don't get it. But I guess they don't like to use the same actor when they're in a new universe because of
I don't know.
confusion. I don't know. But
It would have been so easy to assume that, with
oh,
just a
there's the Hulk.
squint and a tilt of your head. And this is the other thing that it takes a lot of flack for, is really bad CG. But
E-
it was honestly, this was the early
Early
days,
days of
right?
CG, and they were going to go with this. Yeah. This came out what, a year after Spider-Man. I remember they seen the trailer for this, the teaser for this during the
Yep.
premiere of Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire. So yeah.
The
Uh,
two Avengers cartoon movies.
Not doing that
Hmm.
one tonight. They did do Avengers cartoon movies. In fact, I've come close to trying to explore a lot of these. I did watch the Doctor Strange
Hmm.
cartoon movie they did at the time. They weren't quite on the level of the stuff that Warner Brothers are putting out with the DC comics, but they weren't bad. And
So
yeah,
I did want to say something about this particular version of the Hulk. This this model is actually, for people that do 3D animation, you can find versions of this Hulk out there to pull
okay,
in and turn into movies and stuff. And there's somebody who has done a Hulk versus Superman series of short animations using this model of Hulk and a very good version, 3D model of the Christopher Reeve Superman.
okay, cool.
Very, very good. And you could so easily turn the Hulk model into Doomsday if you wanted to do Superman versus
All right.
Doomsday. Just saying.
And you could do an overlay of it, I guess. Yeah, but there was this.
This has been filmed in San Francisco.
This scene was in San Francisco, yes.
Yes,
So
yes, yes.
I remember at the time being very excited. Now, to be fair, I did like the Edward Norton movie more when that came out, The Incredible Hulk. But I never thought this was bad. I know. I guess it flopped. I guess it didn't do the box office they wanted to. I
Yeah.
guess they. Well, I think the Hulk. I hate to say this. I think he's the hardest sell of a lot of the Marvel characters because he's basically a monster. But
Honestly,
yeah,
I got to be honest though, the follow up with Norton,
hmm,
they hit the sweet spot with the Hulk
I liked it. I
because
I thought it was very good. Yeah.
they walked the line between. Okay, they didn't retell his origin story, so if you
They
wanted to
they gave
accept
enough at the
the
beginning that you got the idea. Yeah,
yeah, you could accept that it was, if you saw this movie and you wanted to see it as a sequel, you
you have the
could.
origin already.
If you
If you,
wanted to just accept the origin from the old Bill Bixby,
yep,
they put enough elements in there for you to draw on that,
yep.
especially since they use the Lonely Man theme,
I
and
think that's
the
actually
hitchhiking and
smart
stuff.
that they did it that way
Yes,
because it's
I
like we don't need
agree.
to see the origin every time. You can
I
do a
said the
little,
same thing
yeah,
about
yeah,
Spider-Man
yeah.
too. You'd already had two Spider-Men, right? Basically retelling the origin, and then they give us
Tom
what's
Holland,
this,
Tom
Tom
Holland.
Holland,
Yes,
and it's like, you know what? You guys know the origin.
they're not going to do the origin.
This is a sequel to the Tobey Maguire, or this is a sequel to
Yeah,
the the other kid, or whatever. It's
just,
basically the same story.
yeah. Just start off with him already doing the stuff. Yeah, that's fine. You don't always have to give an origin.
I did. It wasn't perfect. I actually liked the next one better, but I did. I don't hate on this movie.
No, and that those comic panel that was really neat, and I think it wasn't Josh Lucas in this as kind of a sleazy um billionaire type that's trying to get and I I liked how he basically gets killed because I think he tries blowing up Bruce, the Hulk, but he can't destroy him with the bomb, and the bomb reflects back on him and kills him. And you just
Yeah.
see it freeze frame as it explodes behind him, and he got blown up and disintegrated. But they don't even
Yeah.
have to show it; you just get that impression, and like a comic panel, And I thought that was brilliant.